Welcome back to Cooking with Logan. Let's make lamb Wellington. Okay, so we got 3 pounds of lamb here. We're just gonna cut 1 pound off and turn that into lamb steak stews for later. And now we're just gonna season our lamb with a ton of salt. Okay, now we're just gonna get our cast iron, put some oil in it, and put it on high heat. We're gonna sear the sides of the lamb. And now we're just gonna take it out and let it rest for a bit. I'm gonna let it cool on the counter for a bit, and then we're gonna move it to the fridge. Also, the butcher shop cut it up in a weird way, so I don't know if it's gonna work, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get started on our mushroom filling. We've got some washed mushrooms here, and we're just gonna chop them up. And then we're gonna blend them in batches. You don't want it to make like a paste, you want it to be kind of chunky still. And it's going to look like this once you're done. We're going to melt 3.5 tablespoons of butter in the pan, and then we'll add the mushrooms. I'm also adding a little bit of onion as well, but you can leave that out if you want. We're going to season this with salt, pepper, and rosemary. And then we're just going to cook it until the mushrooms have released a lot of moisture. Once your mushrooms are relatively dry, you're going to add 7 tablespoons of whiskey. And this is just to deglaze the pan. You're going to let that cook out as well and get a bit dry. I'm not going to lie, it looks a little bit like cow poop, but it has to be that consistency and then it's done. Now we're just going to transfer it to a bowl and put it inside the fridge until it cools down. Now let's make the crepes. We're going to need 2 eggs, 1 cup of milk, and 150 grams of flour. And then we're just going to whisk this up until it looks like this. It's going to have like a almost pancake batter, like a watery pancake batter consistency. And then we're just going to cook it on medium-low heat on some oil. Make sure you use a non-stick pan because it will stick to the bottom of the pan. It'll be so hard to get off. I'm not gonna lie, it turned out a little janky, but for our first time making crepes, I think it's okay. Like, it turned into something, right? Now we're just gonna get some cling wrap. We're gonna put our crepes on it, and then we're gonna put our prosciutto. And then we're gonna pull our mushroom mix out of the fridge, and we're gonna add a thin layer of it to the prosciutto. Now we're gonna add our lamb. I covered it in Dijon mustard, but I didn't record it because it got so messy. And then I'm a dumbass and I forgot to record this part, but basically you roll the crepe up like this, inside the lamb, and then you put it in the fridge for an hour. After an hour, you're gonna get out your puff pastry and wrap, the lamb in the puff pastry. And then you're also gonna have that sit in the fridge for an hour so it firms up. Okay, after another hour, we're gonna take it out of the fridge, and now we're just gonna cover it in an egg wash. Now we're just gonna pop that in the oven at 350 for 45 minutes. I'm not gonna lie, for my first time making beef Wellington, it went kind of shit. It didn't turn out the best. It kind of exploded in the oven, but that's okay, right? It looks okay still, and it tasted amazing. I'm gonna try to make this again later. I'm gonna try. I think I know what to do now. Anyway, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed. That's all. Bye!